Hi, and welcome to my channel, Laura's Library Card. So my editing software decided to renew my subscription automatically. I did get an email, I just didn't make a decision quick enough, and I have purchased a whole other year of using my editing software, so perhaps I should make some videos to make use of that. Oof, all the sun went away suddenly. So I decided to give a little bit of a try towards daily or weekly vlogging. I don't feel like I have anything exciting going on in my life to have great B-roll. This is probably going to be mostly just me checking in when I can remember to do so about what I'm reading. And yeah, so I'm going to give it a shot. Today is Monday, May 20th at the time that I'm filming this, and today I finished Ever After Always by Chloe Liese, which is the third book in the Bergman Brothers series. I was listening to this on audio and it took me forever to read this book. I think it's mostly because it's the tropes and setup that I don't super care for. This is a marriage in trouble sort of second chance romance. I haven't had a chance to really think a lot about my thoughts, but I don't know, I just kind of really struggled with this book. It felt to me that these characters had not been married for 10 years, maybe like a year. I don't know. It felt like they were just having really basic communication issues that did not really point to a 10+ year relationship. So I don't know. That was really frustrating to me. And it really felt in a lot of ways that they just needed to sit down and frickin' talk to each other. And for that to sort of be the conflict as to why these characters have fallen apart, you know, it was just frustrating. And I prefer to see emotional development and kind of see the characters fall in love. Whereas in this case, at the start of the book, both characters really love the other person. They're just kind of like struggling in their marriage. And I don't know, that was just kind of not really fun to read. And you know, it obviously does improve throughout the book. We get to see a lot of the other Bergman brothers and Bergmans in the whole family, so that was good. And I felt like there was sort of like a twist, a reveal, I suppose, towards the end with a character who was like super obvious to me early on. I was just like, oh, this person is actually going to turn out to be like a relevant character essentially. And I was like, yeah, obviously, duh. So I don't know, I thought it was fine. It was very like meh. And honestly, I feel like I enjoy Chloe Liese's writing while I'm reading it. Like I felt that way about book 1 and 2. But if you ask me what happened in book 1 and 2, I couldn't really tell you. And I feel like I'm almost okay with forgetting this one, which is kind of a bummer because like I think that Aiden was pretty good as a male lead and I liked the idea of Freya. So yeah. So anyway, that is a book that I finished today. I did download a couple other audiobooks to start. I didn't actually start anything else because work was busy. And yeah, so I am about to go to do Bridgerton stuff with my book club. I will maybe try to tune in later. I am in the midst of doing this science fiction readathon, Galactic-thon through the month of May. And I don't know, it's going okay. I've read a bunch of alien romance, which is really not fulfilling a lot of the prompts for the readathon. And I don't know. They're all the same, essentially. I really want to find an alien romance that is not the same as all the rest. Oh, on yesterday, over the weekend, I can't remember if it was yesterday or Saturday, I did start the first of that, like, Infala series. I'll put a picture here. I can't remember the author's name or even the title of this first book, but it's basically the exact same as every other alien thing I've ever read. Alien, you know, human woman gets abducted. Oh, she's going to ultimately turn out to be this alien's mate. He's got to protect her, whatever. This one has sort of a, like, and we have matching tattoos kind of vibe to it. So, I don't know. It's perfectly fine. These are easy palate cleansers. Otherwise, oh, my husband and I are halfway through the first of the Murderbot books, All Systems Red. I downloaded the audiobook and we listened to the first half of it and we were enjoying it. But then it was getting kind of late. That was also Friday or Saturday. And I'm hopeful that we can finish that. Not tonight because I'm busy, but I'm hopeful we can finish that this week. And yeah, so that's my sort of update for this Monday, and I will hopefully tune in tomorrow and give you another reading update. Well, so much for checking in every day. It is currently Thursday after work. So Yes, I think I last updated you before I went to the Bridgerton party on Monday, which was a good time. I am in a book club, and all of us love Bridgerton, and because the first part of season 3 dropped last week, we were all a fan. We met up and had, tea and little finger foods, and I had a couple fans, and we watched the first episode, and basically talked our way through it and kind of just geeked out about the whole thing, and it was a fun time. And then Tuesday, I don't think I read anything else. Monday evening, maybe a couple pages. I don't know. Tuesday was kind of a wash. I didn't have anything to update at the end of the day on Tuesday because work was basically me spending the whole day trying to figure out what I next wanted to read, picking an audiobook, and I was listening to BookTube, and I was listening to podcasts and that kind of stuff. And then in the evening on Tuesday was a D&D session, and currently I am the dungeon master for our group, and so I came home from work and was working on the session and planning it because it was basically our big boss fight, and it went well in my opinion. I thought it was fun. My players were fighting a sea witch and who was ultimately defeated, and and all my characters lived, so it was good. It was a good time, and I'm glad that happened because it's definitely been building up for a while. And then I was pooped and went to bed. So yeah, yesterday was Wednesday, and oh gosh, I had a long day at work. I was busy. I was off doing a bunch of stuff that happens a lot of Wednesdays, but it was just extra long and obnoxious basically. So I didn't have any opportunities to listen to any audiobooks at work yesterday. And then yesterday evening, I got completely sucked into a game that I'm playing on my Switch, which is called Yoku's Island Express. It's basically like a pinball game for my Switch, and it's fun. I'm enjoying it. I definitely lost a couple hours, and I was just like, whoa, where'd the time go? But Ben and I did finish All Systems Red, which is the first book in the Murderbot series. We basically I think we did this in two sittings. We did the first half and then the second half last night, and we finished it, and it was good. This is a science fiction novella following a character who calls themselves Murderbot and is a construct. I don't know. I don't know enough about science fiction to fully kind of talk about a lot of things, and I felt like that was hindering a little bit of my comprehension throughout this book. Right when I would start to feel kind of confused as to what was going on, if I stuck it out just a little bit longer, I would get the gist enough to follow the plot. Did I feel that I followed and understood every nuance? No. I felt like on the whole, there's not that many characters, but I didn't feel like I actually was following, all the characters. It's like a team of scientists that the Murderbot is working with. And other than the leader, I'm not sure that I really had anybody else parsed out. But yeah, it was good. It was interesting. Like I said, there was moments of confusion for me, but there was also little moments of humor. There were multiple times that Ben and I kind of look direct to camera at each other, and it was good. And he already has said, let's continue the series. So we might continue that at some point, but it's not going to be super urgent on my list. But yeah, so I finished Murderbot last night, and then I was too tired to read anything there. But today, during work, so today's Thursday, and during work today, I started the audiobook that I chose on Tuesday, and this is Polaris Rising. I don't have the author in front of me. I'll put the picture here, and I'm listening to this on audiobook, and it is so good. I am so enjoying it. I'm already about 33 to 40%, somewhere right in there, probably about 33 to 35% away through the book, and I'm really enjoying it. I like the narration. I like the pacing. It's very fast paced so far. It's very action heavy so far. It's all heists and escapes and rescue missions and sneaky, and so this is a sci-fi, probably is going to be a romance in the end. There's definitely a lot of sexual tension between our main two characters. I have a feeling that our main male character is, I don't know, I'm getting werewolf vibes. There's not any indication that this is paranormal or that there's such a thing as aliens, as far as I've picked up on, but I think that there's something that he's like a super soldier or something. There's something there. But yes, I am enjoying it, and it's very like fast paced and go. And I really like that our main female character is, she does have skills. Like she has some sneak skills, some fight skills, some hacking skills. But also she's like really well educated and really she's basically like a princess, kind of like her father, her parents are some of the most important people like in the universe or something, like very wealthy but also like very influential. So she was afforded all these opportunities for education throughout her life, and it's made her character super interesting because she's just trying to get away from all of that. I would like to know, because this has been so like action packed, fast paced about what is happening in the now, I do feel like I want a little bit more information about our characters' backstory and sort of what their goals and motivations are, because I know that our main female character is wanting to not be captured by this guy who's trying to capture her, but like who is her sort of person that she was supposed to marry, but like the exact whys of it are unclear, other than that's just not what she wants so far. So I think that there will be at some point, like when they finally get to a safe space and have a little bit of downtime, I think that there's going to be like some bonding where they finally start to open up to each other about kind of who they are and what their backgrounds are. But yeah, I like it. And I like that the main male character really treats our main female character as like an equal. Like they both recognize their strengths and their weaknesses. I mean, not that he seems to really have any weaknesses yet, but like, you know what I mean? Like they respect each other and they are working together in a reluctant kind of way, in a like, I can't wait to take you down a peg kind of way, which is also hot. So I'm just really, really enjoying it. And there are sprints tonight, I think. I have to look them up. I have sprints written down in my calendar, but I have no information in the event as to whose channel those are happening on. But I'm hopeful that there are sprints tonight, and I probably will listen to the audiobook of Polaris Rising because I'm really been enjoying it. So I might film a little clip at the end of the night before I go to bed with any of my progress, but I am really enjoying that science fiction title. Hi, okay, it is Friday morning. I wanted to update you because I finished a book in bed last night. I finished Aliens Bond, The Mark of the Infala #1 by Quinn. This is the first book in a series. It is an alien romance. I didn't really care for it very much. I don't think I had mentioned this earlier in this vlog / whatever, it doesn't matter. I finished this book. I might do a rant review about this book. I don't know. Haven't decided yet. But basically, in a lot of ways, this has a lot of the similar elements and conventions of a lot of alien romance. We have a main female character named Darla, who is a human woman. She is abducted in the night by some bad guy aliens. The spaceship she's taken to has a bunch of other humans who are like, yeah, we're all going to be food. And she's like, well, that's not good. And so she kind of strikes up a conversation with the only person who's not a human that's being held in this, like, you know, in their holding cell or whatever. And then when the spaceship crashes, she and this guy who turns out to be the main male character, surprise, surprise, who's a good alien, they take an opportunity to escape together on this planet. So a lot of that is like very par for the course, right? And I would say the sort of like shtick or thing that is what is trying to set this series apart from other alien romance series is the Infala part, is these like tattoos things. Basically, like everyone from multiple different species and cultures and races and whatever in this part of the universe all get these like tattoos when they come of age or something from these specific plants. And the book makes a big deal about how these are like special plants and it's a symbiotic relationship and each person's are unique and blah, 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 blah. But like, whatever, it's basically just magic tattoo ink. Like I could go on I might rant about that, but like, it's basically just magic tattoo ink. And it takes a little bit of time once you get your tattoos to kind of like get your powers, but like, it makes you faster, it makes you healthier, it makes you stronger, it makes you see better, etc., etc. Like, it's magic tattooing. But yeah, so I don't know. I had some frustrations in this book. It has sort of a fated mates element, which can be fun and nice, but also I didn't really like how it was done in this book. I didn't, even though then because of course our main male character, we don't get to like there's little bits sprinkled in about his past, and like even at the end, it's sort of like, who are you? Like, where did you come from? What is your past? There's like mentions of things that like then never come up again. Okay. I mean, we don't really get very much characterization on Darla either. She presents herself, I felt like she was this dumb human the whole time where, I mean, obviously she doesn't have very much information about where they are, these other alien races. Like, depending on her partner guy for that information is totally fine. Like, that's great. But like multiple times he's like, oh, don't do this. And she's like, do this? Okay. And she's just dumb. And she like rushes ahead, or she thinks, well, I'm strong now, so I can do this thing. And then he has to rescue her like over and over and over. And like sometimes the information that he was giving her, because he had that information and she did not, which was fine, it started to come across as sort of like paternalistic, like, oh, I've got to take care of you, you weak, fragile little human that I also like want to bang. So I don't know. I think that there's other books where the information has been communicated in a different manner to the human woman in a way that like didn't come across as kind of weird for me, or like, I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into that, but like it doesn't really matter what the plot of this book is, because I think I'm kind of just rambling at this point, but basically they do all the things that I basically just told you. All the locals are like appalled that she does not have these magical tattoos, but it's okay because her hunk of a guy like also happens to be a special tattooist or whatever. And so he gives her all these markings and whatever. But, then they're like, oh, well, we have to go do X. Like, this is going to be the plot of the book from that point forward, right? And I'm like, okay, cool. And then it doesn't really matter because they end up like kind of abandoning that plot partway through, or like, you know, I guess like other stuff happens that derails them, but then like by that point in the book, they're together and like they're happy, and so they just like abandon that first plan. They just pass those duties off to other people. I don't know. It didn't really make much sense. And then, yeah, the whole like ending was weird and I didn't like it. And the sex scenes were not good. No, it was like a weird mix of like, of terms that you would hear in both an anatomy class as well as like on a porn video. It did not work for me. Did not like it. There was like, she orgasmed harder than any human woman ever had before, kind of like, I think was like a literal quote. I just didn't think the sex was done well. There was actual multiple grammatical errors. I feel like this could have used like a little bit, like one more pass with an editor. Was not my jam. I don't know if I'm going to do a full rant review. I feel like I just kind of ranted a little bit here without giving too much away, but I did not really care for this book. And I didn't really like the author's writing style, and I'm not sure that I would continue in this series. I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe I give her like one more shot, and maybe there was just like a lot of work that had to do in this book to try to set things up, but I don't know. It just was kind of rough for me, and I didn't really care for it, and I'm glad it's over. So today at work, I'm not going to be there for a full day. I have stuff to do in the afternoon, so I'm taking a half day. Yay! And I will be taking today to listen to Polaris Rising, the audiobook that I'm really enjoying. Hi. Okay, I wanted to go somewhere where there was natural light, but not my desk. Hello. It is Saturday morning. I think I am crooked. Sorry. Hi. It's Saturday morning. Yesterday was Friday, and what did I do yesterday? Oh, okay. So I actually got a little bit further in Polaris Rising. I'm listening to the audiobook, and I'm still really enjoying this book. I think I'm probably somewhere around 60%, I'd say. And yeah, this is just a really fun, like, action adventure set in a sci-fi space setting. And I'm enjoying it. It has action and adventure. I like the writing. I like the characterizations. I think the pacing is great. It's very much so, for me, a page turner. As I'm listening to the audiobook, I just don't want to stop listening to it. It has some political intrigue, not a ton, but some, and it has the romance elements, which I think are really functioning to give it layers and kind of give the book an arc and a whole somewhere to go that's not just like run, 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 run the whole time. I think that I would like a little bit more from the characters with regards to the romance. Like the chemistry is there, the tension is there, but I don't know. I really want the characters to kind of sit down and have an emotional moment, and I don't feel like that has happened yet, but there is still potentially time for that to happen. So I am enjoying it and definitely want to keep reading. Um, I listened to some of that when I was at work, and my intention was to continue to listen to that while I was driving, because I was driving toward Columbus today, or like yesterday. It was on Friday. Um, I had to drive to Columbus for a graduation party, which was fun because I got to see family and it was a nice time and, free dinner essentially. But I did not, I wasn't 100% sure where I was going, slash, I was listening to the radio on the way home and instead of my audiobook, the windows down and music blasting. So that was fun. It was a nice half day at work, but I didn't really get much more reading done. As for today's Saturday, I think that my husband and I are going to go have lunch. I have sort of a hankering for, well, I haven't have a couple of options, but I'm hopeful that we can go have lunch, and I need to go to the library, and I don't know, we're just going to kind of walk around a little bit. It looks like it's going to be hot out, but hopefully not like miserable. And yeah, I do also need to, as we're heading into the last few days or 6 days or so of the month, I need to figure out what my final plans are for Galactic-thon. Like, I've been participating in this month-long readathon for May, where I'm reading a lot more science fiction, hence why I'm reading Alien Romance and Polaris Rising. And for the second prompt for my team, I had intended to read Frankenstein, and I started reading that, I think, last weekend. And the copy that I have, the ebook that I have, has like a introduction and an author's note, and then there's like these letters, and I'm like, it's just, my brain was not on board and I was not into it. So I would like to give Frankenstein another chance because I know multiple people who've really loved it, but it ain't happening for right now. So I don't know. I have to kind of take a look at, I also think I had some holds that have maybe like expired now because we're nearing the end of the month. So I'm going to have to really take a look at that and try to figure out what my plan is for Galactic-thon. So I will try to tune back in. Not sure what that noise was. I will try to tune back in later today once I've kind of figured out what some of my plans are, I guess. Okay, we are back at my desk because I have been figuring out what I want to do for the last week of Galactic-thon. And basically, I had requested a Psalm for the Wild Bill by Becky Chambers earlier in the month, and it was due in like literally 2 hours, so I wasn't going to have time to listen to the audiobook and finish it. And I kind of have heard that that is a little bit more like philosophical and like beautiful writing. So I feel like sometimes I kind of absorb that a little bit better when I'm reading with my eyes. So, but none of my libraries have an ebook available right now, so I'd have to get on a holds list. So that was just something that I've heard so much good buzz about, and was sort of a potential for a 5-star romance, not 5-star romance, a 5-star read, which is the last prompt of the readathon. But I decided to return my audiobook just because I'm not going to have a chance to get to it. So I'm still trying to figure out what to do about the whole Frankenstein situation, because I think what I've decided to do is right now I'm setting aside Frankenstein as a soft DNF for the future. And I was asking on Discord, and someone kind of gave it a thumbs up. So we'll see about the one by John Mars. I think might fit the prompt anyway. Like, it might do okay. I think it's gonna be kind of a stretch, but you know what? Like, I don't think any of the team leaders are going to be like, actually, no, that doesn't count. Everyone's pretty cool. Basically, I'm on Team AI for Galactic-thon, and the second prompt is called Upgrade Potential, and it says, read a book that features scientific or technological discovery / advancement. And I skimmed through a bunch of the recommendations that were in the PDF, And there's a bunch of recommendations, but most of them were things that either weren't available through my library or were like 600 pages or just didn't sound interesting. And I thought this was not going to be that hard to find something. But the one by John Mars talks about in the synopsis that there's like some sort of, they have figured out how to like pair people up, like find your one true love or something. So I was like, maybe that'll count. So I think that's a little bit of a stretch, but that's sort of my plan. I already completed, don't tell anybody, the third prompt. I think I'm supposed to like, you're supposed to read them kind of like in order with the way that they're doing things. So I checked out the one by John Mars on my library. I actually checked out both the audiobook and the ebook, but I probably will start that today to try to get that going. But I just kind of wanted to give an update. So I completed the first prompt. I am going to try to read the one for the second prompt. I actually already read the third prompt. And the fourth prompt is Unlikely Allies. Read a book featuring a morally gray character or an epic space adventure. And I feel like Polaris Rising qualifies for that because our main male character is a little sketchy, but like he's a love interest. And so I feel like he's both a morally gray character and also this is like adventure that's set in space. Like it's perfect. So yeah, the last prompt that I'm gonna need for this is a read a 5-star prediction. That was sort of my Psalm for a While build that I just got rid of. I don't know. I had a whole like list of books that are potential possibilities. So I'll just kind of pick something off of there. Hopefully something that's short. Hi. Okay, it is Sunday night. And I haven't updated you in a hot second. Let's see. Saturday was nice. I went to lunch with Ben and we went to the library and other stuff. I feel like that was kind of it. Got the car washed and I started The One by John Mars as a new science fiction title that will replace Frankenstein. And so far it is good. I'm enjoying it. It is, I guess, like a thriller. It's I don't know what genre it is. I mean, I could look it up on Goodreads, but I'm not going to. But I'd say sort of exciting and thrillery is sort of the best. Mystery a little bit. And so far, I'm enjoying it. I can tell why people describe it as gripping or why like the blurb or something calls it gripping. We're following 5 different characters who have something to do with this match your DNA. So in the premise is that it is ostensibly our world, our time, etc., but there has been some sort of some gene was discovered and technology was implemented like within the last 10 years where people can sign up for this service. You submit a sample of your DNA and they do an analysis and then message you if you have a match based on this like specific trademark gene or whatever. And so we have 5 different people who have found out something about their matches or have recently gotten matched or whatever, and sort of like following each of those perspectives as they are figuring out what this information has to do with their own lives. And they're all very different. They're all like kind of twisty. There's certain things that I could call pretty early on. There's other things that I'm still kind of like, oh, didn't see that coming. Okay. So yeah, I'm finding it gripping and entertaining and interesting. That is also what I've been doing today. Kind of took it easy, chill Sunday. It's a holiday weekend. I just saw today on Sunday that this is actually for the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, holiday weekend in the US. It's Memorial Day on Monday. I saw that the Galactic-thon is actually doing like a bonus page count situation where every page you read Saturday, Sunday, and Monday counts for double the points for your team. So it's a good thing that I am plowing my way through The One by John Mars. So I might also try to squeeze something else in. I think I need to, it has a little bit of, the book has enough heavy themes that even though it is exciting and fast-paced and like gripping, I think I am going to want to balance that with like something a little lighter or something a little romancy. So I might start something else tonight. We went to Target today on this chill Sunday. I got Ben some like drink he's been looking for, and he bought me a book. So I got Pucking Wild. This is a This is not a sticker. Bonus chapter is not a sticker, but this 20% off on Target is a sticker, so I'll be trying to peel that off. I don't buy books very often, and I actually don't even have Pucking Around by Emily Rath, but he offered to buy me a book, and I was like, okay. Okay. I think we put everything on our joint card, so he really bought me this book. But yeah, I have decided to, I don't remember if I mentioned this. I decided that in the month of June, I'm going to be participating in the Amazing Readathon, which is based off of or inspired by the Amazing Race show. So yeah, I already signed up, and I'm going to be team romance, and I actually ordered some stickers, the Amazing Readathon. I can use those in my journal or whatever. And so it is the whole month of June, and we don't have our actual like primary prompts yet. Those happen that you get dropped throughout the month. So it sounds super exciting, but maybe I will be reading, this is kind of a chunky book. Oh my gosh, and the print is small. Look, the print is so small. There are like no margins. This is the end of a chapter, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, oof. Ooh. Also, I just flipped to this page and it says Eiffel Towering. Oh my gosh, the young woman who was checking me out at the register at Target, she was scanning this book. She goes, "Oh, have you read this? Is it good?" And I said, "Oh, it's the second book in a series. I've read the first one, but I haven't read this one yet." She goes, "Oh, okay. I think it's on my list." And I said, "Well, it's a romance. I don't think it super matters if you've read book one." But she looked pretty young, and she was asking if I liked it. So I was like, "Just so you know, it's pretty smutty." And she was like, "Uh-huh." And I was like, "And also there's like multiple partners. Like, it's one woman and 3 guys." And she was like, "Uh-huh." And so I don't know if I scared her off. She didn't seem like it was still on her list after that. But so yeah, so that's sort of an update for me. I'm almost out of space on my camera, or on my phone. So yeah, that's my Sunday. It is just after, it's 9:15 right now. So I'm going to try to get a little bit more reading in tonight. I don't know if I want to continue the one or if I want to try something else, but I will keep you posted. I was going to make these Monday through Sunday kind of vlogs and try to post stuff Monday through Saturday. I don't know. Try to post stuff on like Mondays, I guess, maybe. But I don't know. We shall see. This holiday weekend is kind of throwing things off for me. So you'll get this. You'll see it when you see it. Bye. Hi. Okay. I am here to wrap up the vlog for the week. It is technically Monday right now while I'm filming this, but I think that the holiday weekend is kind of throwing me. Going forward, I'm going to try to do Monday through Saturday, Monday through Sunday is kind of a situation for these weekly vlogs, but I just wanted to let you know that I finished The One by John Mars last night. Don't know that I have a ton more to say that I haven't already said. I felt like it was very page-turner-y throughout the whole book. It was definitely written so that the end of most chapters has you wanting to turn the page to continue and see what's going on. And I think that if I had had less time to read it, that would have been annoying, but I had a lot of time, so I just kept running going. There were a lot of reveals or twists and turns throughout, and a lot of them I saw coming, but there were still a few surprises, which I enjoyed. I liked how pretty much each of the stories wrapped up. I had a nice time. I definitely think this was a little bit more of a sort of thriller mystery, kind of, not even really mystery. It was a literary fiction with strong thriller elements, but it had sort of just that little base in science fiction just based on the whole, DNA find your match kind of thing, which I definitely don't believe in. The explanation that that was in the book just didn't really make any sense. So I was like, oh, okay, if you say so. But yeah, it was a good time, and I'm going to count it for satisfying that second prompt in the Galactic-thon prompts. Otherwise, yeah, other things I talked about in this vlog were that Aliens Bond book that I didn't really care for. I am still in the middle of Polaris Rising, or maybe 2/3 of the way through. I haven't really been listening to the audiobook here over the weekend, but I'm excited to finish that up. And then, so that will be my 4th prompt for the Galactic-thon. And then I just have to figure out what my 5-star prediction is going to be, and that that I think will do it. So that's probably, you'll hear about the end of Polaris Rising in next week's vlog, assuming I manage to continue with this. And I don't know, I am not sure exactly what I'm going to choose for that last one. But thanks so much for sticking around, and happy Memorial Day, even though you're going to see this after Memorial Day. And yeah, I wish you all the best, and feel free to leave comments down below about any future potential projects you'd like me to see. I mean, I just did say that I'm going to be doing the Amazing Readathon, so that's going to be a lot of romance probably in June. So if you have a romance book you'd like to recommend, feel free to leave that down in the comments. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.